Hi everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Crystal Fry, a woman's best friend. Tonight we are talking about who you attract in your life, and more specifically, understanding that you attract who you are. Now, I'm going to give fair warning right here at the beginning that this broadcast is going to contain some real talk, and it's going to contain some things that might make you feel a little uncomfortable, because we're not always very comfortable with the realization that we are responsible for where we are in life and for who is surrounding us, who we choose to surround ourselves with in life. So fair warning, this one might get a little bit deeper than some of the other ones. But that's exactly the point of tonight's show, to help you understand that you are, in fact, in control of your choices. And that includes the people that you choose to find in your circle. That includes the people that you choose to surround yourself with. One of the best things that I ever read was in a book by Jack Canfield called The Success Principles. And it said, you are where you are because of the choices you've made or allowed others to make for you. I'm going to say that again because it's important that you really get the feel of what we're talking about tonight. You are where you are because of the choices you've made or allowed others to make for you. You are responsible for all of those things, whether it's a choice that you've made directly or whether you have decided that you're not going to make a choice. Guess what? That's still making a choice. And all of that it's you. It's personal accountability. It's responsibility for what your choices are. So tonight, like I said, we are talking about who you're surrounding yourself with and the fact that you attract people to you who are like you, who share similar attributes, who have the same values, who are into the same things that you are. Like attracts like. So let's talk about the people that are in your circle. Now, we're not talking about acquaintances or people that you occasionally have conversations with. We're talking about those people who you are in frequent contact with, people that you're in contact with on a very personal level. Who is your crew? Who is your tribe? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are they like? Are they positive? Are they successful people? Are they enjoying their lives? Or are they negative? Are they always complaining? Are they in a state of woe is me or the world owes me something? Like nothing ever goes their way and it's always somebody else's issue and somebody always owes them something. Take a minute to think about that. And understand, I'm not trying to be overly harsh here, but if you aren't where you want to be, seriously evaluate and take a look at the people that you are surrounding yourself with, and then take a serious, long, hard look in the mirror. Because again, you attract who you are. Like attracts like. So if you want to be a difference maker, if you want to be a goal setter, if you want to be someone who is successful in whatever it is that you are choosing to do, whatever your chosen area is, you have to start being around people who are already there. If you're always the smartest person in the room, you need to find another room. If you are always the person who's on top, and how are you ever going to learn, grow, and do more if you're not surrounding yourself with other people who are already in the places that you want to be? So people are attracted to you because there's a commonality. There's a common thread. Either you share the same interest or you have the same values, or there's some other attribute that draws the two of you together, right? Like magnets, like attracts like. So if you're always finding yourself in a room full of gossips, and there's always whispers, and there's always who did this, and what's going on there, and sharing somebody else's personal life, and what their relationship struggles are, and all of that kind of stuff, if you find yourself in that room all the time, you need to evaluate how much time you are spending on the gossip end of that, either being the person who's gossiping or listening to the gossip. Even if you aren't actively participating in telling someone else's story, you're allowing it in your space. By listening to it and by not saying, you know what, this is really not a topic I think that we should be discussing, because whoever that person is not here to give the actual, their story, the side of it, then you're letting it be known that you feel like it's okay because you're listening to it. You're allowing that behavior because you're listening to it, even if you're not actively partaking in sharing somebody else's secrets. And let me tell you, gossiping is that's just an example. It's true for any other type of behavior. That's just an easy one off the top. So how do you change your circle? If you have looked at who's in it and you've decided that, gosh, Susie, Karen, Joan, Beth, wow, they're all really kind of negative people. And every time I talk to them, geez, it always seems like something's going wrong, or they've got a new problem, or they're wanting to tell me how, difficult their relationship is, and they're never offering solutions. They're just kind of complaining about it and just kind of really, they just want to gripe. How much time are you spending being the person on the other end of that who's complaining about your relationship, who's complaining about the fact that everything seems to always go wrong and nothing ever goes your way? What you're speaking, you're actually bringing that into existence. And so if that's all you're talking about, why would you have an expectation that anything else is going to happen? If all you're ever doing is talking about how hard everything is, why nothing goes right, if that's all you're doing, why would you have an expectation that you're suddenly going to have a gloriously great day where everything lines up and goes your way? You shouldn't have that expectation if that's not what you're putting out into the world. If that's not who you're surrounding yourself with. If you're not surrounding yourself with people who are positive and who are uplifting, who are encouraging to you, who are encouraging you to go after what it is that you want to go after, why would you have an expectation that that would be your mindset? They say that you become like the 5 people you hang around the most. That's exactly right. What did I say earlier? Like attracts like. So if you are wanting to be more, do more, become more, you've got to be around people who also want to be more, do more, become more, and they're either already on their way or they're already in that place that you want to be. You've got to go find those people. When you see, and you can connect with different people on social media, you can connect with different people in your local community, however it is that you go about finding them, in order to, if you're looking around your circle and you're deciding that those people who are there are maybe not the best for you as you're trying to move forward with some goals, or you're trying to move forward and being in a different mindset, you've got to go find people who are already there or who are working to get there, so that you can put yourself in a place where you're going to elevate yourself because you're around those people. And then guess what happens when you do that? Other people who want to elevate themselves, other people who want to work on goals, other people who want to be more, do more, become more, will begin to be attracted to you into your space, because that's what you are doing. When you start going down that path, other people will come along and follow you. Now, understand that in the beginning, when you take a look at your circle and you decide that maybe this is not the right circle for me anymore, maybe I don't want to hang around all of the negative Nellies, maybe I don't want to hang around Joan, who all she ever does is complain about, all of the things that she has to do and everything that she can't accomplish because she never has any time, but she overcommits herself and all she does is nag, and complain. When you make that decision that you want to break away from that, understand that it might be a little lonely at the beginning. And that's okay. Because what you do with that space is you get very serious with yourself. You get very serious with the person in the mirror and understanding who you are and what you want to go do with your life. And I want to stress that point there, you guys. This is your life. It's not Karen's life. It's not Joan's life. It's not Betty's life. It's not anybody else's life. It's your life. And you are the one who is responsible for the outcome. You're responsible for the things that you do. You can't blame someone else for your failures and your misfortunes if you are not doing what you need to do in order to achieve your goals, in order to change your mindset, whatever it is, in order to fill in the blank with whatever it is that you would like to do with your life. No one else is responsible for that. You are. And that is a lesson that was really, really kind of hard for me. When I say it was hard for me, what I mean by that was it was a jarring realization for me. It was a hard pill to swallow. For me to understand that I was sitting in the position that I was sitting in the place and the station in life that I was because of my actions or because of my inaction. Remember, you are where you are because of the choices you've made or allowed others to make for you. Not making a choice, not making a decision, letting someone else make it, you're still choosing. You're choosing not to make a decision. You're choosing to give someone else the power over you to decide for you. And when you really sit down and think about that, when that realization hits you, it's not cool. It really isn't. It's not fun to sit down and understand that, you're in the crappy job that you're in because you've allowed yourself to sit there. You haven't gone out and pursued anything else. You haven't gone and taken the necessary steps to get maybe additional training as needed. Maybe you need to go get a degree. Maybe there are some other things that need to happen that you are responsible for in order to elevate you to a different place in that job, or find a new job, or change careers. That is all your responsibility. You can't blame your boss. You can't blame your coworkers. You can't blame your company because you are choosing to stay there. And again, that's just an example. It's the same thing with relationships. How many people do you know who sit in what looks to be a dead-end relationship way, way, way past its expiration date? Why? For what purpose? You have two options in that situation. You have two options. You can either get out of the situation, right? You can get up and you can get out of that situation. Or you can decide that you are going to stay in that situation and do what needs to be done in order to make it a pleasant one. Work on your relationship. Have a conversation with your significant other. And it goes the same for your family as well. Because that's often one of the things. Sometimes, and this is where it gets really kind of sticky, sometimes those people that are in your circle that you've attracted to you are your family members. And you've grown up with them, you've been around them, and so that's just who they are. They're not going to change. So what are you going to do about it? It's still your choice. Family is family, and you can love them, but that doesn't mean that you have to spend all of your time with them. That doesn't mean that you have to allow the behavior that you don't want in your life anymore. It doesn't mean you have to sit in there with them. You don't have to. You can tell them, listen, this isn't something I want to talk about. Listen, I don't want to go down this road with you. And guess what? One of two things will happen. Either they'll change their behavior so that they can continue to be in your space, and they may continue to be that person that you don't want to be with when they're not around you, but if they want to be with you, then they will either adjust and modify their behavior, or they will go away. And either way, you're winning in that instance, because the negative behavior, the behavior that you don't want in your space, in your life, the influence, and that's a key word too, the influence that you don't want to have in your life is now gone. Now, it may not be really fun to have a relationship, especially with a family member, not be as close as it used to be, but if it's one of those relationships where you don't feel good when you're around that person, they don't bring you joy, they don't bring you light, they don't add to your life, they don't pour into your life, they take out of it, they drain you. When you're around them, or you're going to be around them, you don't feel good. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you things that your brain will completely ignore and shut off and not tell you. Your body will tell you. So if you're going to be around a person and you just really don't feel good with that person, choose not to be there. And if it's a situation like a reunion or something like that where you feel like, you're going to have to be around that person, limit your contact. Same thing with any other person in your circle who needs to be out of your circle. It might be a really hard choice to make, but you need to remember that it's not their life, it's yours. And if that relationship is no longer serving you in a way that is helping you to grow, in a way that is helping you to be a better person, in a way that is helping you to achieve the things that you want to do, you need to learn to release that person. Bless them. Thank them for the time in your life. Thank them for getting you, for being part of your life and part of that journey up to this point. I did a post earlier this week that said understand that not everyone gets to go on the journey with you. They don't. Not everyone gets to stay a part of your life forever. You outgrow relationships. They serve a purpose, but then they reach a point where they're no longer serving that purpose anymore. And so in order for you to continue to grow, in order for you to continue to be the person that you want to be, continue moving in that direction, bless them, thank them for their time in your life, and then release them and continue moving forward. Continue moving forward. Because your success in life, however you define your success in life, whether you're looking at success in your career, whether you're looking at success in your relationship, whether you're looking at success from a parenting perspective, whether you're looking for, whether you're looking for success in your giving, in your community involvement, whatever it is for you, however you define success for your life, you need to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who are going to help you get there. And as you do that, as you start to surround yourself with people who are where you want to be or they're on their way, you'll notice that the people who start coming into your life, the new people who start gravitating towards you, are other people who are on that same track. Not necessarily the same, occupation or whatever, but they're on the same path toward achieving their goals. They want to also be surrounded by people who are where they want to be or who hold those attributes that they're trying to develop within themselves. If you want to be a positive influence on other people, go hang out with people who are positive influencers. See what they do. Look at how they interact with people. Look at how they speak to people. Pay attention. And then see what is applicable to your life. See what skills, what attributes, what traits, what values you want to adopt that are going to help get you further down the path. But again, I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning and remind you that this is your choice. It's personal accountability, and that is not an easy pill to swallow in a lot of cases. And I can tell you that because, like I said, I know. It was a hard pill for me to swallow to understand that. It was hard to let go of some of the people that I had to let go of in my life. It was hard to let go of some of the baggage that I had been carrying around with me for a really, really long time. It was hard to let go of my excuses as for the reason why I wasn't where I wanted to be, or why I wasn't where I felt I deserved to be, why I wasn't where I belonged to be. I had to let go of some excuses, a lot of excuses. I had to let them go. They weren't serving me anymore. They'd served my purpose for a while. They made me feel better about whatever I was doing. They made me feel better about where I was. But guess what? That doesn't last forever, because I didn't want to stay in that same place. I wanted to elevate myself. I wanted to get in a better place. I wanted to get in a better position. And in order for me to get in a better place, I had to put myself into a better position. And that meant that I had to let go. I had to release things. I had to release people. I had to release excuses. I had to release thought patterns. I had to release mindset. You guys, I had to take a hard look and release words that I was saying to myself. I had to. That was the only way that I was going to be able to clear the path in order for me to step into the person that I was created to be. That's the only way I could do it. I had to let go of the old so I could step into the new. So take a look at the people around you, and then take a look in the mirror and understand that it is 100% your choice who you are surrounding yourself with. And if those relationships are not serving you anymore, then you need to let them go. So that is all I've got for tonight on you attract who you are. Again, I know this was a little bit of a tough topic, but understand that your personal growth journey and your self-development journey, it's not always going to be pretty. Positive thoughts don't cure everything. They don't fix all of the problems. They certainly are a good start, and they certainly do help along the way. But you can't change your life with just positive thinking. You have to have action behind it. And in order for you to know what steps to take, in order for you to understand what your next best move is, you've got to look inside. You've got to look at yourself, and you've got to get real with yourself. You've got to get honest. I almost said brutally honest, but I don't want you to be brutal with yourself. But you have to be 100% honest with yourself and understand and accept that you are right now where you are, this moment in your life, because of the choices that you have made or because of choices that you have allowed other people to make for you. And when you understand that and when you accept that, you can then start taking a really hard look and really examining your choices going forward. Because you're taking responsibility. You're accepting that personal accountability for the choices that you're making. And you'll think about them a little bit harder. You'll evaluate those people who are wanting to come into your space a little bit more and determine whether or not you want them there. It's all up to you. So, on that note, we'll end for tonight. I am Crystal Fry, a woman's best friend, helping women to see themselves, love themselves, and transform into themselves, into the women that they were created to be. Have an excellent weekend, my friends.